There are so many new people coming to your industry all of the damn time, whether you're a health coach, a mentor, a trainer, a personal trainer, accountant, physician, anything like that. There are so many people. Now, not only have you got the new people who are coming in, you've also got the existing people within your industry, right? And everyone is clamoring to stand out. So when it comes to you being able to stand out, what the heck do you do? That kind of leads to feelings of overwhelm, to feelings of how the heck do I even do this, to wondering where to even start. So what I would love to share with you today is where to start and how to fix this. There's very much worse than looking at your Facebook newsfeed and seeing the same thing after the same thing after the same thing. People in your industry trying to stand out, they're clamoring, but they all end up looking exactly the same, right? I mean, you've seen it. You see health coach after health coach after health coach after crypto expert, Bitcoin expert, they all start looking and sounding the same while they're trying to stand out and have a different message. Now, here's the thing. Everyone is going to tell you that you need a new marketing message, that you need to do things differently, but they're trying to teach you things that are actually the same as what everybody else is doing. So one of the really big things that you can do in order to stand out is to know what makes you different. Now, here's the really big thing about this. Your experiences, your stories, your wins, your losses, your scathing things that have happened to you, those pitfalls, the shit, the sludge that you've had to work through, your different history around your jobs, around everything that you've been doing, all of that has led you to this point right now where you are. It's not just about your experience. It's not just about your modality. It's not just about that thing that you do and how many clients you've had or how much money you've made or anything like that. The big thing that is going to help you stand out while you're creating authority and expert positioning and everything like that is the fact that you are you. Right? It is your personality. It is the way that you speak. It's the way that you tell stories. It's all of that stuff. It's not just one singular thing. And this is why when most people will tell you that you need a new marketing message, they will say, right, so who's your niche and what is it you do and what's the problem you solve? Now, yes, that's important, but it is not the be all and the end all. So first and foremost, it's all about your personality, you showing up as you sharing you, no matter how it is that you are. Now, I don't want you to try and replicate being me because that would be weird. But if you're not the kind of person who is really animated, who can speak for a whole day without drawing breath, or my mum used to say underwater with a mouthful of marbles, it just depends on what parts of you feel really comfortable sharing and how you want to do that. Now, if you're a little bit more conservative, awesome. If you're a little bit more, I had a lady on a webinar recently who said, I'm an accountant and I'm a full-on nerd and I'm an introvert. How can I do this? And really, the end of the day, the way that you are going to stand out is by leveraging your personality. The second part of you being able to stand out is to kind of go back and do a bit of an audit on all of those things that you have done over the years. So work out what your qualifications were, what your modalities are, what your skills are, how you've upskilled, how you have invested in, brand you over the years. Now, as an example of this, I started working when I was about 12 years old I convinced my mum my dad to let me do Avon. Now, we lived in a rural area. We all had really big blocks and the houses were really kind of separate. So I had to I convinced them to drive me around while I'd jump out the car and I'd run and put the Avon book in the letterbox, and then a week later I'd go back around and pick it up or knock on the door and have a chat with the people who lived there to see if they wanted anything, and that was what I did. So I've always been interested in making money, in sales, in doing things a little bit differently, and I was always willing to do whatever it took in order to get things working and get things moving and to help people and to make money. Then I started working in a sports store when I was about 16 and worked there for ages. Then I worked for one of the major banks in Australia for 12 years. And, then in 2010, I started up this business doing what it is that I'm doing now. Now, all of those experiences cannot be mimicked by anyone else on the whole entire planet because no one else has had my childhood. No one else has had my work experience. There might be some crossover and some similarities because, we are human and we're living in a world where things are kind of similar to some degree. But nobody else has had the experiences that I've had along the way. Nobody else has had the exact same thing. Now, if you were to think about that in terms of the competition, it makes it a lot easier for you to go, you know what? I am so damn different to everybody else anyway because, nobody has what I have. And that's awesome. So when you combine the skills, the modalities, your experience, as well as you and your personality, you start to be able to create a really solid point of difference. The next part about it that I really, really need to let you know is this. Now, I want you to sit down and really listen. You do not need any new photos in order to be able to stand out. You do not need new branding images. You do not need a new website. You do not need a new graphic designer. You do not need a new business card. You do not need any of that bullshit that people will tell you that you need in order to be able to stand out. Now, are those things important and do they have their place? Hell yes. I am a huge fan of having great images. I love having a beautiful website, but it is not going to make you stand out. The way that you are going to stand out is kind of like putting a beautiful facade on a shitty house, right? Or a house that's got a really terrible floor plan. The facade might look lovely, but when you get in, if there's a mismatch, it ain't gonna work, right? No one's gonna buy that. So the first thing that you need to do is work out those other steps first, and then you can get into having new images and stuff like that. But you don't need to spend any money at all to be able to leverage you, to be able to leverage brand you, okay? That's that's a really, really big point, and I trust that you've got that by now. The other thing that I wanted to share with you today in terms of eliminating this overwhelm is by making sure that you have got a singular point of focus every single month. And that's what I want you to start talking about. So let's pretend that you're a health coach, and one of the big things that we know is a massive problem with the people that you are working with is mindset. Everything boils down to mindset, right? So you might have mindset, you might have nutrition, you might want to talk about lifestyle, you might want to talk about movement, you might want to talk about integrating it into family, you might want to talk about budgeting. So if you think about those 6 things, there's 6 months worth of topics that you can, maybe you do like month 1 is around mindset. You could do 4 different blogs about mindset. All right. And then that way your voice is going to be coming through. Your brand is going to be building really strongly because you've got that consistent common thread going through and rippling through everything that you do. So most of the time, overwhelm happens, and you see probably with the people that you work with as well. Overwhelm happens when there's number 1, too much choice, number 2, no plan, and number 3, no focus. All right, so if you can get those things down and follow those steps that I've already told you today, you're going to be set like a jelly, cooking with gas, and all of those other really cool, stupid, and funny cliches that I think are really awesome. If you have any questions about this, please make sure you leave them below. You can find me on our website, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me all over social media. I really look forward to helping you, and if there's anything that you need, please just feel free to reach out.